Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing the new Cobra driver. Cobra have just released the LTDx range and we have 3 heads to test. We're going to be doing an out-of-box experiment for you today with these 3 clubs. So whatever Cobra have sent them to us as, we're going to be reviewing them from that. If you are new to the channel and you like what you're seeing from our videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But for now, let's head over to Lee and see what he has to say about these clubs.
Thanks, Dan. So let's talk about tech with these Cobra LTDx drivers. So the LTDx woods feature a power core technology which uses multi-material internal and external weights to reposition as much weight low and forward as possible to lower spin and deliver a powerful ball speed upon impact. Cobra engineers have replaced the E9 face with a new hot face which stands for highly optimized topology. That is precision tuned for speed. Using data from thousands of impact simulations, Cobra have optimized thickness in 15 different zones to maximize the ball speed across a larger area of the face. And this is designed for off-center hits to still give you that maximum ball speed and maximum distance. In addition, the LTDx drivers utilize a multi-material construction. So now we have a carbon crown, and a lot like the Sim 2 did last year, that carbon has now moved its way to the sole of the club, and that is designed to make the driver weigh less or have less weight at certain places on the driver, so they can push that weight a little bit further back or move it around the head a little bit more in order to optimize that MOI, which is what everyone's going with these days. It's all about MOI. And as such, the Cobra engineers have redesigned the previous T-bar chassis to reposition more titanium lower to the ground and around the perimeter edge to lower center of gravity and increase MOI, which is what I've just been saying. And this has resulted in an 8-gram weight saving. So the LTDx drivers are available in 3 models, as we've already said. There's the LTDx LS, which is the low spin model designed for skilled players with faster swing speeds who would desire maximum workability in a traditional shape. We've also got the LTDx Max driver, and this combines maximum stability and maximum draw bias, giving golfers the choice to move the adjustable weights from the heel and the rear in order to give themselves better face control and also maybe slow that heel down a little bit more to speed the toe up. And then we've got just the standard LTDx, which is the perfect blend of the LS and the Max onto one driver. It's the first driver to achieve 0 CG and 5,200 MOI. Basically, that number is just how much moment of inertia a club's got. The higher that is, the better the club's resistance to twisting is, and that's what MOI is. It's the club's resistance to twisting. And this creates the best of both worlds, really. It gives you low spin and maximum forgiveness to up the ball speed, lower the spin, and give you maximum distance as possible. Let's get out on the course and let's put these clubs to the test.
Before I send you out hitting these clubs, just important part of the club, important part.
Head cover.
Head cover.
Yeah, really nice. Inside, first of all, it's fleece lined, so it's nice and soft. Yeah. Keep your hands warm if it's a cold day. Really good quality, subtle design, so nothing really shouty, but it follows the pattern and the sort of what they're trying to give with the driver itself. It's just a good quality head cover. It's
easy to slide on and off. You're not struggling, and it's a little bit damp today. Are you struggling to get that club in and out of the head cover?
No, not at all. And considering it's new, it's quite easy. Yeah. The only thing I think it could have done with
is a grab.
Is something on a grab, especially with driver, but it's it's not the end of the world, and it comes off nicely. Sometimes with head covers, new ones, they can be a bit like trying to get them in. No, it's good. Like it. World's first.
That is middle. That is middle. I mean, it flew lovely. So
Where's the bag gone?
Yeah, here we go again. Next. First impressions. What have you got in your hand to start us off with?
So this is the LTDx low spin. I thought I'd get this one out of the way because I was expecting bad things, not from the club, but from my ability. Yeah. Actually, because I've put the 10-gram weight in the heel. Yeah. It did straighten that ball flight up for me. Normally I think I would have lost this a lot to the right, but actually that was a really good ball flight. High, but I hit it high anyway. Yeah. Do you know, it felt a lot better than it did in the studio. I really struggled with these in the studio, but out here, that felt really nice. I'm hitting the middle of clubs today.
You found the middle today. Well done, you.
Yeah, no, yeah. Different ball flight. I felt this one went a little bit higher, and with it being the max version, it was definitely straighter than the LS, where I lost that a little bit to the right. This was just a great shot. It's probably more to what I see with my own club, because I use the Sim 2 Max D, so it's definitely feels more similar to that. I'm really impressed, actually. A lot more. I'm very surprised at how well it feels out here to how much I disliked it in the studio.
Today is your day, Lee. Today is your day.
Get me, let's go and do a course vlog quick. 3 fairways.
Very good.
Yeah, surprisingly, I got that a little bit more out the toe, so definitely saw the shot shape move from right to left. I'm not struggling with height with either of them, or all 3 of them, but there's a definite noticeable difference in the shot, the straightness of the drives from the LS to the other 2. I think the difference between this and the Max, the draw version, is probably down to maybe swing, but the LS is definitely a lot lower and is going to favour more a left to right shot shape for me, whereas these 2 definitely are more forgiving.
Looks down at the ball with all 3 of them. Do they look the same?
Yeah, very similar. To be honest, this feels, and they're probably not going to like it, very Sim-esque.
Okay.
And I say that because if we look at the top line, it's got like that different coloured front,
Yeah.
carbon top, and then unlike last year, the Sim 2 had a carbon bottom, so this has come off them. So it does feel a little bit Sim 2-esque, and as soon as I use it, it's probably why it feels a little bit more comfortable for me.
Yeah.
As opposed to, you know, I've made no bones about it, I've struggled with Cobra drivers in the past, whereas actually I came out here from the studio expecting not to like these because of what happened, but out here I think it's just a different experience completely. Right, Daniel?
Reverse orderly.
Okay, so the Max, this is a standard to start with.
This is just standard to start with, okay? Nice.
Not a lot of shape on that at all.
Well, I have to say, I caught that a little bit out the toe, and I was expecting to see a little bit more gearing. I was expecting it to really turn over, but there wasn't a great deal of shape, as Lee quite rightly said, not a great deal of shape. I have, over the past probably few generations of Cobra, I've not been a big fan of this rail at the front. It's where the milled facing has sort of gone up and over onto the top edge, and I kind of didn't really suit my eye. But I've got to say, I do love the look of this. I think it's absolutely fantastic where they've not taken that milled away as such. It's smoother, it looks cleaner, it just looks tidier to me, which with my eye line, that's what I like to see. A little bit stretched back, a little bit more stretched back than probably what I've seen in, again, previous generations. But again, that gives me confidence. When I look down at it, it gives me confidence because I feel that if I've got a little bit more stretch back, I've got a little bit more MOI, which is going to give me stability. It's going to give me confidence, basically, going into the shot. So first impressions, very, very impressed.
So we're going with the Max version now.
Yeah, Max draw. Go full draw.
Just so people know, the actual heaviest weight on this is in the back, not in the heel.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it was just a bad swing, Lee.
Well, it drew.
It did draw, but I think it was more of a pull draw.
But what it didn't do is hook, which you
No,
might
it was
have
more of a
expected.
pull. It
Yeah.
was more of a pull, wasn't it? But looking down at the ball, when I put this one up against the standard, so this is the Max moving into the standard version, I wouldn't have known the difference. They're both shaped very similar in the back. Again, kind of like a cone kind of feel as you go back into the driver, giving me all the confidence, like I said, what I was getting out of that standard version. Obviously weight being moved around in this particular one, pushing it more towards the heel, closes the face down, allows that toe to catch up, just enabling you to be able to square that face up just that little bit either if you are someone who struggles from left to right. So feel wise, not feeling anything different. Little bit of a pull out of this one, but not feeling anything different from the standard.
I expect a bomb out of this one.
Well, I am. So first things first, when I look down, it does look a little bit smaller. Did you notice that?
Because I used it first, I didn't really notice it. But when you put
it?
three together, you can definitely tell.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing that. I'm certainly seeing a slightly smaller version, which to my eye line probably is a little bit nicer. Still got that cone kind of look at the back of it. But like you said, Lee, I'm expecting a lower flight and obviously lower spin, so the ball really shooting off the face. That's what I'm expecting to get from this.
And that's what you got.
And exactly what I got.
Arrow ball.
That was an arrow ball. Oh, that's two. That's two right in the middle there, Lee. Like mine just layered over the top of yours. That was lovely, wasn't it? This one really does impress me, I've got to say. Out of all of them, I feel like I can work this club a bit more, as in I can work the ball flight on it. That one flew pretty straight, if anything, maybe just dropped down to the right-hand side. But I do have that slight interchangeable weighting system in here. So even though this is 10 in the heel area, which is set as standard as what we dragged it out of the box, and you've got the 3 gram weight in the kind of toe, I do have that option if I wanted to maneuver that one around. Again, looking down at the club, love that face as we talked about. Love the fact that this club is a little bit smaller. It just suits my eye, might not suit everybody's eye, but it did kind of what I expected it to do. In fact, all 3 of them have done kind of what I expected them to do. The max one certainly went left on me, even though it was more of a pull to me, but wasn't wanting to come back. The standard version just felt really easy to hit, really soft off the face. I felt confident with it. I felt like I had control of the club. And then if I wanted to just get a little bit more out of it, then this low spin version is definitely the one that I would want to put into the bag. But with the numbers, let's go to the studio and just give you a bit of an insight into how these clubs perform for us. So just looking at my numbers from what I got from GC Quad in the studio here at Churston, if we start off with the standard head, 149.6 ball speed off the club face, launching it at 16.8, spinning it at 2,925 on an average revs, and an average carry of 245. If we compare that to the max version, which has got that little bit of draw and probably the most forgiving head out of the 3 of the models, 149.4 ball speed, so just a fraction less than what I'm getting out of the standard head. Launching it a little bit higher, 1 degree higher at 17.8. Spin revs up about 300 revs or so, moving it from up to 3,300 revs, and then an average carry of 238. So just dropping off that little bit from what we're getting out of the standard head, which is exactly what I would expect to see. Now we move into the low spin model. Low spin model, 153.4 ball speed off the face, so getting that little bit hotter off the face from this driver. Launching it just a little bit lower than the other 2 at 15.8, so 1 degree lower than the standard, 2 degrees lower than the max version. Spin really dropping down, and this is where I want to see my spin at 2,400, and then an average carry of 260. So getting a lot more out of the LS version compared to the other 2, but the way they kind of put themselves with the numbers falls perfectly into how a fitter would look at these clubs as well. Little drifty out to the right hand side. Yeah. Again, plenty of height, Lee.
Yeah, it's a little bit out the heel.
Which one, reveal it, which one would you be choosing?
I would be choosing the max.
The max?
Yeah. That's
the draw version?
It is. That's for me personally, I'm in Sim 2 Max D.
Okay.
This is the one that's most similar to it. My bad shots are I can lose the face and it can go out to the right. So I feel this one at where I am with my driving at the moment would give me the best results out of the 3. I would sacrifice distance for spin. I understand that. But what I do like about the LS is that you can put the weight a little bit in the heel. So I think with a bit more confidence, maybe a bit more practice, the LS would be the one I would lean towards of wanting to play. But at the moment, I would be picking the Max.
But are they an improvement? Do you like them? Are they something you would actually play?
I think they're a massive improvement on, what was it, Speed Zone and the F9. I really despise them. I couldn't get on with them. I, like you, didn't like the face coming over the top. Aesthetically, it's definitely a lot better. I personally don't get on very well with Cobra drivers, and I would just know that I don't get on with Cobra drivers when I would use it. So I personally wouldn't put it in the bag, but that's not because of its performance. It's more more a thing for me. It's just not for me.
Okay, RRP 399.
That could sway people, definitely, with the new drivers coming out at 479, 499. You're looking at 80 to £100 cheaper. It's definitely not £100 less in performance, if that makes sense. It's up there with them when it comes to performance. It's just a personal thing in that I'm not a fan of Cobra drivers, but I'm a fan of the rest of their things. It's just the drivers for me don't do it. Another frozen rope.
You must be able to know which club I've chosen for this one.
I'm gonna guess it's the LS.
It is the LS. I absolutely love this driver. I've fallen in love with this driver. It's I've just hit two absolute bombs out there with it, which is very rare for me to say the word bomb. And where have I struck that?
Another overlap.
Was it another overlap?
That middle's had some workout.
If I was running a pro shop now and Cobra had delivered this club to me to go on the shelf for this year, I would be very excited. I think these clubs are... People are going to want to pick these clubs up. They're going to want to take these and test these clubs. I think Cobra have nailed it with the look. I love the fact that they've taken away that kind of infinity face look on top, even though they're still calling it that. But ultimately, I love the look on that. I think it's cleaner. I think it's tidier. I think it just gives you a really good impression on the club to line up to the ball. I think they've nailed it. I really do think they've nailed it. And I think this is a club that definitely you guys out there should be wanting to pick up and test. RRP on this club, as I said before, 399. You know, Cobra have always positioned themselves just that little bit lower price point than, let's say, your TaylorMades and your Callaways and your Titleists. So I think these clubs are going to sort of suit lots of golfers out there. You've got three different options that you can play around with, three different options for pros to fit you with. And yeah, I think Cobra have done a fantastic job. But we would like to hear what you think. Put your comments down below. What do you think of this video? Would you be someone wanting to go out and test this driver this year if you're in the market of testing drivers? Down in the comments. Don't forget, if you are new to our channel and you like what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button, and we will see you again very soon.